Welcome back. This is Benjamin Zulu Show, and it is always pleasure and honor having you on board. My name is Willie Kinyash. Have you ever thought of having a marriage that you're doing as a business partnership? I mean, this is where you want to get financial freedom, and you must stop working separately and come and start working together, having a common goal. And I know right there will be some challenges, and that is why we are here with the coach himself to ooze some wisdom on how we can build marriages as a partnership.
Willie, let's stop marrying for love only. Let's start marrying to win.
Wow.
To win at life. To
Let's
win.
not marry for love only.
Yes.
But marry to win.
Yes.
You need to tweet that.
Love has been sung and praised and written poems about. So when we hear marriage, it's all about love. And when you are infant in your thinking, like the pre-25s, I loved him sincerely. And that's why she got involved with him, got a child with him, moved in with him, did it, spent her life with. You see, but I love this person so much. We peg everything on love. Really, especially if you are from Africa, you know you're not likely to die for lack of love.
True? Yes.
You know what is likely to kill you.
Yeah.
Hunger. Having no shelter, no home. Lacking money will get you running around like you're mad.
Yeah.
A guy who had all the promises of God, Jacob, and whose plan of God depended on him, at some point said a statement that should spin your head. There was famine and there was no food. He told his sons, he learned there was corn in Egypt. I hear there is a crop in Egypt. What you do, go there and buy food lest you will die. A man of promise was threatened with death, not because of lack of love, but because of lack of food. The whole community that was carrying God's promises went to a foreign land because of hunger. Can we stop worshipping those other things and come and deal with this enemy first? When you marry, really, think of hunger. Think of food.
Before anything else, before love. I mean, we can't eat love.
My brother. I don't know why we are forgetting that part. There's a severe life-threatening battle you have to fight together. And it's not about kisses. You know, we dance in weddings, we sing songs, and because it is sweet.
Yes.
We hype it too much. And then we don't fight the battle that is really life-threatening. So the children of God go to captivity. Hunger.
Hunger.
Yes.
We spend all the money during the wedding day.
My brother.
We forget there's life after that.
If by the time you're choosing a mate, you're not thinking of a person to fight scarcity with, to fight for food, to have security, food security in your home with, to be able to secure your children and your children's children, because in the Bible, a wealthy person leaves inheritance to the grandchildren until you can gather enough to hand over to the child of your child. If that's not one reason you're marrying, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah?
You're doing it wrong. Our definition of wealth in Africa is very poor. It's about having a car and one plot there and having some savings in the account.
And a 3-bedroom house.
Our rich in Africa is relative. If you have more money than me, I think you are rich. Remember, if you take all the tailing children in class and give them an exam, one of them will come number one. So in Africa, we are all tailing, but among the tailors, there's one who is number one.
Yes.
With 0.3. True wealth is when you can give without it affecting your wealth, and yet you are changing destinies. For me, that is the definition of true wealth. When I have enough to give and change lives without depleting my own. That's how you know you have enough now. You're wealthy. You are full of life. Wealth is more than money. It is substance. Money is gold, but you are able to give life, to give education, give security, give shelter, you save those who are gripped by problems, you save them from disease and death, you save them from illiteracy, wealth is when you can give life, solution, rescue. Wealth is not that you are comfortable. Here we even define a good employment as well. That guy is very rich, employed by KPLC, he's a manager. Yeah. Payslip. Payslip is only a promise that if you work, this kind of work will pay you this kind of money. If you, it's a condition.
So if you don't,
should you die, that's not my friend. Why do we interpret a fat paycheck, payslip as wealth? And the Bible had already warned you that when money increases, eaters of money increase. When you're paid more, you want a bigger house, better car, better status. And the status carries away the advantage. You're given an advantage, you increase your status, the status is the... Listen to my brother. Why we're talking about business partnership, we're only using the language we are common with. But I want you to think from the context of Africa and the threat of going back to the hell, to the inferno of poverty, of retiring and the next 20 years are hell. And you are a burden and be moved from hospital to hospital. How many people today, their parents have health complications and it is depleting them? My brother, just carry your own opinion poll among your friends. You don't even need to run it online. You have a sample around you.
Yes.
Start from yourself to the next friend, to the next friend. When parents begin to age, many times they deplete anything we had. Insurance cover is very poor. Our own resources, the parents themselves did not organize for their aging. They become a burden. And the hospitalization process itself is very expensive and draining. By the time people complete their lifespan, if they were unwell for 5-10 years, it has harassed the whole family. What do you do? Let me tell you something, my brother. Don't marry because you feel a lot of butterflies. Hey, don't marry because this lady, you have crushed on her, you can't help it. You like the way she thinks, the way she looks. After we have finished the personal attributes of how we match together, let us take our fighting attributes of how we can win together. I know people have told you about how you match, how your compatibility and all that. About the two of you.
Yeah.
There's a journey in front. And I want to give you 3 rules of winning. Number 1, I want you to know that when you fight together, again, we're using the word fighting because life is a war. When you're in Africa, you don't need to be wise to know that you're at war. You don't need a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
You will have experienced luck. Right now, Willie, you have relatives who are asking for help every day and you can't respond to all of it.
True.
I don't think in the first world conditions are that severe. When people have jobs, at least, they may not have wealth, but can they please take care of their own needs? If insurance cover is working, they will never be begging for small monies for hospital. If the insurance cover is working for health cover, if there is health cover and housing, the kind of crisis you're getting from, and if the school fees, the student is streamlined, if education and housing and health is covered, and people are able to get basic jobs to feed themselves, at what point will they be in this kind of crisis, nasty crisis we are dealing with here? In Africa, we are dealing with the kind of problem that by the time you're marrying, you should say, I want us to build something where our children can hide from this kind of harshness. And I want you to start imagining your death. I know it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
To imagine
it is not.
It's not a comfortable one.
Yeah.
To imagine you dying. But Ecclesiastes 7 says that a fool is always thinking of parting, but a wise person meditates on the time of their departure. Just imagine if you're absent, what is the fate of your children? Try to save up. You know you will die, you just don't know when.
But one day.
So, unless rapture happens sooner, you know.
Yeah.
According to the course of nature.
Yes.
You know. So, I want you to make sure that you don't bring your children and leave them without organizing them. So, you and your wife are uniting as business partners to build wealth for one reason, for the security of our retirement years and our own children. It's a matter of security. It's a matter of survival. You're building a shelter. If you study Psalms, you find that our Lord is a shelter. Those who dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall abide in the shadow of the Almighty. You need a secret place, secret treasures for your family that can become a hiding place. The wisdom God gives you, one way He hides you in the secret place is the wisdom He gives you to put systems that protect you against your enemies. How many stories of torture do you know when parents died and the child was shuttled from relative to relative and misused and abused?
Yeah.
We have the stories abound. Do you want your child to be like that? What is the solution then? Build enough to run them all the days of their dependency. It's a matter of necessity for you to discuss. You and your wife tell each other, out of necessity, things happen. We want our children to be secure. Can you bring our strengths together to build together? There are many men who are getting secret assets and they're not telling their families. And so they build and they have a home there. When they die, those things become, they are owned by strangers. Imagine a caretaker who knows the paperwork for that house and then they hear you died. And nobody shows up to claim. Nobody even knows where they are.
It takes ownership.
Yes.
And your family is struggling
Yes.
out there.
How many people you find that the bank owed them more money, but they take the advantage to repossess the whole thing because there is nobody to come and follow up the case. So the penalties pile up. And things are auctioned away there when you're not even, because you died or you are sick, you became incapacitated, you are doing it secretly. Really start by uniting with your wife, with your woman. If you're getting married or you're already married, go and have this conversation with them. Tell them, if we continue working parallel, you're working there, earning and contributing to the family, you're working, contributing to the family, and we are getting around comfortably like this, but there's nothing we are building intentionally. We may be buying a plot here and there, paying fees, whatever remains, but if there was an interruption today, in 5 years, we'll be in total mess, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we left now, this earth, what will happen with our children? What are we doing? Really, we need investments that are in children's names from the time they're born. Yes. Because when it is in child's name, and even if you die, it is very clear before the law. This is this child, you can only be a trustee.
Yeah.
If there's a person coming in, they're only holding until the child grows. And if the child grows, sometimes some of the confidence a child has is to know they will never be desperate. To be desperate and homeless and at the mercies of helpers is very uncomfortable. And you want your child to repeat that to them until they can do it to their children when they grow. Tell them, I hope I'm here to stay. But even if I want to die, you're only 5 and your sister is 6, 7 years old. I have stored this one for you here, guys. This one can last you the next 20 years. That house over there, that property over there, those shares over there, they are for you. This one is for this one.
But don't you think sometimes when we show our children start think they might stop working hard, they know our parents have worked for us?
That is if you're lazy enough, you can settle. But remember, you're not showing them what you have done for them only, you're also teaching them the philosophy you live by. Tell them they will also have children one day. They need to have grown to a level that they can secure the children's future. Children of wealthy people are told what the parents have done as an inspiration, not as an excuse to relax. So you're not just telling them, hey guys, I got you this. No, you're talking about what made you go ahead and get things for them. How the world operates and how you can't afford to relax. You know? So you're not just giving them things, you're also giving them the philosophy, the drive, the energy. You're showing them what it is. You are journeying with them. That child will know by the time they have their own child, they know that is how things are supposed to be. It will be so inculcated in them that my child should be secured whether I'm around or I'm not. We see in the Bible that Abraham went to carry around a nephew whose parent had died, and to this day, if you die and your child has to depend on your relatives, your brothers, your sisters, you don't know how they will treat them, whether they'll be nice people. So one reason you want to discuss with your spouse that let us come together now, let us build together. We have children and we have retirement. Should death happen, our children will be vulnerable. And school fees is not enough. You know, we stop at school fees in Africa, just paying school fees. We stop at uniform and food and books.
Yeah.
Let us think of the future. And we have many insurance policies that are being developed. Actually, they have combined the interest so well that you can be doing education stroke life. You can be paying for education, and in case you die, they'll give you some compensation. You are paying for the life of this child plus their education. Imagine. That's something you can do, and you're doing a small amount that is manageable per month. So within 5 years, the first 5 years of that child, you have almost secured the next 10 years. And you have given instruction. If in case I'm not there, give this child only this amount per month. You know?
Yeah.
Let them live on this so that they can get their own, because sometimes you leave the properties in the hands of relatives and they're taken away. By the time the child is grown, the things are being changed, paperwork and all that. Let me tell you, my brother, the first reason you must partner is because you need to secure a future together. If you do it separately, if anything happens, there'll be no coordination. If you do it separately, you may not have enough information about everything you got. Some you got with whoever. You may have the title deeds, but where are the locations? Where are the demarcations? Remember, if something were to happen and you are grieving, that 1 month, 2 months, 3 months of you processing the death of your partner is enough for people to swindle, to carry away. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care. The second reason why you need to unite is because it will deepen your connection, your love.
Wow.
People ask how to bring back the spark. Don't focus on the spark. Focus on how rich your life is. If we are talking about investments, if you are moving around looking at the trends, if we are informing each other about opportunities we saw, if we are trying to develop chances and snoop opportunities and sniff around the air and where, when you discuss business, your connection deepens. You need to be secure. Sometimes you saw your parent being swindled. Dad trusted mom until mom took away. If you develop the fear, you need to deal with it and know that I am not your father.
Yeah.
I am not your mother. Can you allow me to introduce myself? And we're not saying you should not be cautious. If somebody shows signs of selfishness and you know they can swindle, you're wise. You know how to play around with your game and get the thing moving. So the thing we are saying is, number one, you will not, the love can dry up if you keep separating your lives. So that the things to do with your in-laws, you don't involve me. The things to do with your business, you don't involve me. The things to do, so what are we talking about so far? Maybe just about our children?
Yeah.
Just about our life here, what we are doing in the house? That's why it narrows down until it's boring.
And there's no love.
Many people killed love by taking away the major departments that could have enriched it. The department of money and investments is very rich. It makes our conversations free-flowing. And because people are not prepared to trust, they end up missing out opportunities to... You know, you can teach a person to be trustable. You can trust a person until they realize, oh, so I can be trusted. And they... Remember, really, we are not trying to marry a person who is totally healed. People who are totally healed don't exist. We are marrying people who still need areas to learn. But they are functioning. You're marrying a person who is healthy enough to function, to rest in love. But they have things to learn. One of the things we may need to teach her is how to be trustworthy. And how do you teach her? By trusting her. By showing her, number one, when we start this, I expect to do this, we do ABCD. And I was telling Mwikali the other day that when you date a person who is coming from where they were being suspected and followed around, treated like they're not being truthful, they learn to over-report, they learn to overexpose themselves. And by the time you help them to unlearn that, that it's okay, you don't have to report about every shilling, how you spent it. You're grown up, I trust your judgment. You did what the situation required, you represented us. You might need to teach your partner that you can make decisions about money on our behalf. And we can trust you.
How do you deal with fear? Because especially with men, they have this fear. I might show my wife everything until she starts planning something evil against me.
First of all, I want you to make sure you marry a woman you can trust. Don't marry until you find somebody you can trust. One reason we don't trust our people is because we did not choose a person you can trust. We chose a person who was very sexy, maybe. We chose a person who was very intriguing or difficult. Some people are marrying as a challenge. you know. It begins at choice. Number two, once you have chosen, even if now you're already married, train the person. You yourself train yourself to work as a team. And how to work as a team is I need to be able to trust you.
Mm-hmm.
How I need to open up and feel that I can rest when you have our money. You start small, of course. You start small. Remember, trust is a risk, but it does not mean you are blindly trusting. You are checking how trustworthy they are behaving, because some people may give you enough sign to be careful. Sometimes people give you enough reasons to think twice before you depend on them.
Yeah.
People give you enough reasons to say, hey, and if they are this way, when it's already this early, what will they do? So some people love money, they don't spend, they avoid, they dodge, you know. And those areas, the other day I told you an area that men ignore, is whether that woman is neat. Most men don't check. They assume because she's a woman, and maybe your mother was very careful about cleanliness, you assume other women are also clean. My friend, you'll be rudely shocked to find that some ladies have not developed that part. Really, some things are not inborn. They are learned. They are in, you build them. You're not born with them, you build them. You build them in you. The first thing as a man you learn in order to be a husband, to move from man to husband. Those are different roles. You can be a man and you're not
a husband.
You can be a dad and you're not. Yes. You can be a man and you're not a dad. You can be a man, you're not a husband. You can be this and not, because all of them are roles, they require certain kind of thinking. And one thing men learn is responsibility. How to put the other first. The other thing they learn is what we are discussing today. How to be vulnerable, how to incorporate the other person, how to show them the better way, how to teach them until they can trust and rest. You understand? Now, so we are saying you need to teamwork to enrich your life. You have more stories. You have more memories. You have more adventures. Imagine traveling all the way to a town far away to see a property that her friend suggested. Imagine one of you sending the other, go and check for us. We can pay a deposit. Then you send them the bank account. They transact for you. Look at the teamwork. You arrive there, you look, you certify. This is a good thing to invest. The accounts are over there with them. They organize you. Look at the teamwork. The stories you have made that day. The fun you've made. The communication. How you stayed in contact. You're talking business, but you're in touch still. You enrich love by allowing the financial, the money area of your life to be part of your life. If you separate it, you will be seated there as if you're dumb. You don't talk because you don't talk and disclose your money. The reason people are silent too much, they have too much to hide, and if they talk, a slip of the tongue. And the reason people stay away until the other person is bedtime, because they're staying with the people they are free to discuss everything. You're more free with your boys to talk everything. And you're not free with your wife to talk everything. My brother, that's a reverse order.
Right there.
That's a reverse order. And there are girls who talk more with their mothers about their lives than you. They discuss with their mother their feelings, and they will not discuss with you. And you're married. We are already choking that marriage. The third reason why you need to incorporate your partner as a business, your marriage, to make it a business partnership, is because how far you can cover the distance before your life runs out. Let me tell you the economy of time. The only thing you have, Willie, is time. It's time. To learn your woman needs time. To build wealth needs time. To build a business needs time. To build trust, raise your children needs time. Time is constant, and is what you do with it that makes it enough or not enough. In order then to run enough distance of having built richness in your children, of having built values into your children, of having generated enough energy and enough wealth to start off your children and their children in the next level, of having touched more lives. In order to economize time, you need to be working together. How? If I know what to do, even if you're in banking and I am in business, for example, you're corporate, you work in accounts. Myself, I'm out here, I sell land. But I know how the market of land is doing. And you know how the market of, because of the conversations we are having, you can give me the best quality advice because you don't have conflict of interest. You can watch out for me because I am part of you. In fact, you can see job opportunities for me in your field and show me how to outsource when you are already a part of my financial life, my career life.
Yeah.
But if we separate that part until you don't know what I'm doing next, what is trending here, what are the threats we are facing, where are we now, you can't tell that even this business of real estate is fluctuating at this season.
Yeah.
And that people are shifting towards Airbnb, for example. And you have seen your friend, you have heard your friend saying there are opportunities somewhere. And you took the performance for me, you brought me. I looked and I went, checked, and it turned out to be a good opportunity. In order to maximize time, the Bible says because the days are evil, we redeem time.
Yes.
To redeem means to buy back.
Yeah.
It's a business term. Something that was yours and it was confiscated. Or it was taken, or it was taken in lieu of payment. You pay it to get it back. You need to redeem your time once you get married, because if you work solo, you move slower. Opportunities are slower. The mileage you cover is slower. The businesses you try are slower. The ideas you develop are slower. The money you can earn is slower. When we team up, even if we are not in the same field, but our financial life, our career life is part of our team, we can spot opportunities. And this business thing, remember we said you don't need to be an entrepreneur. You just need to be an excellent person.
Yeah.
Whether you're in employment or entrepreneurship. So even if I am in employment, you're in entrepreneurship, but we have excellence as a couple. We trust each other. What will happen? At the end, number one, I will try more things because I have borrowed your eyes. You're looking for me as well.
Yeah.
I will see more things because I am not one anymore. As you walk out there, I'm represented. As you hear, because when you sit in meetings, they don't know what your wife does. And they might talk things that touch on her directly.
Yes.
They might reveal opportunities. And after the meeting, you follow the person who said, you said you guys will be hiring soon and my wife in that. Oh, is your wife in that field? I'll be very happy to help you, man. Bring the papers.
Yes.
You know? But what if your wife's interest was not on your mind? You will sit in a room where there are opportunities.
And she can't even think about you.
Imagine. But if you know we are trying to look out for each other, and you are a member of our board and they are doing tenders for this, you can tell her, that school is tendering.
Yeah.
How about you also send your papers? You know?
Yeah.
Some of the things are very open, but we don't like thinking about them. When you merge your effort, let me recap. When you merge, the third one you're saying, when you merge as business partners, you've borrowed a brain, borrowed 2 feet, borrowed 2 legs, borrowed eyes to move with you, and the world cannot see. You don't know the career of my wife, so you might end up displaying what she actually needs.
Yes.
You know? She might bring opportunities to pick ideas. In my case, for example, those of us who are in public space, you don't have enough time to look around what people are posting, what is trending. When your partner is behind there, checking out for you, she will send you links that open your eyes to something that was just on time.
Yes.
It needed to be attended.
Yes.
But I was not aware. I was caught up in shows. I was caught up in things.
Yes.
My brother, your partner becomes borrowed eyes. Literally, to see things for you. And you are seeing things for them.
Yes.
Because you always have them at the back of your mind. You know the cars they love. You know the houses they love. You know something. You see something, you take a photo. I'm sure you like this. Oh yeah, where did you see that? That's her interest. Not necessarily yours. But you know, she loves things like that.
Yeah.
And she's helping us to locate one. You know? And we had said the second reason was in order to enrich your love, to keep the fire alive. To have deeper things to discuss, to have another area and freeness around money. And the first reason we had said was in order to win at the battle of life, to preserve, to build something that you can pass on to your children and give yourself security. And if you build separately, enemies will come in between, people take advantage. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Such an eye-opener. And to our viewers, what is your take home? What have you learned? Have you become a borrowed eye to your spouse? Do you see things on her behalf? Do you see things on her behalf? Because if you want to grow together in love, you must act as a borrowed eye to that person, and you'll be able to see things on his or her behalf. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you on the next one.